for Tuesday, August 16, the 228th day of 2022. There are 107 days left in the year. Good at K105 on Litchfield's Country Station, 103.9 The Moose. Live online at K105.com via the Apple and Android smartphone app using the SoundCloud, iTunes, or Spotify podcast, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, and the hashtag is In The Know. Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. It will be day number 7 of Where's Quacky? And we'll have the water cooler question, 2 chances for you to win. That and a whole lot more coming up today here on In The Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire, is my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. It's Beach. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Well, I'm good. I'm a little bit sad because I've already inhaled my pastry crisp.
Yeah?
But I'm feeling productive because I have unsubscribed from about 15 emails.
Really?
Today.
Using
Yes.
that fancy unsubscribe button on your iPhone? I found it easier to do on your iPhone. I don't know if you know that.
I've done it through Outlook.
Did I hear some trash talk over there about desserts a minute ago? Did I
Yeah.
hear desserts being mentioned?
Yeah.
And I heard chocolate chip cookies were mentioned. You know what goes good with chocolate chip cookies?
Milk.
Milk. And a new study says drinking milk can improve brain health in older adults.
I guess I need to get back on the milk kick because I've been dieting. I haven't had as much milk, but between Alea and I, we need a milk cow, or we did.
We're gonna need.
Yeah.
Well, between when both of you get on it, we definitely need it. But at the rate that you were drinking milk for a while, you might be a spring chicken.
I know, right?
Dancing around, yeah, because apparently it'll help keep you young and slow down the aging process. He is the 5-time winner of the coveted Ohio Newshawk Award. He's the 2-time Silver Sound nominee, covering every corner of the globe: London, Budapest, Rio, Tokyo, and even Litchfield. He's Sam Gormley and the Sparks. Morning, Sam.
Morning, Ralph.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. You were the one who mentioned chocolate chip cookies just a few minutes ago. Are you for chocolate chip cookies?
Yeah, no, I
Are you
am. I'm
anti-chocolate chip cookies.
I admitted that I am not necessarily somebody that eats sweets often at all.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate chocolate chip cookies.
You like food?
Yeah. I just don't. I don't really have much of a sweet tooth.
How do you feel about lobster?
I mean, it's good. I could not tell you the last time I had it, because it might shock you that there aren't many lobster options here in good old Litchfield.
No, there aren't very many.
Can you catch them on Rough River, or is that just no land?
I think it's a different kind of crawfish.
Oh.
or shelled fish. By the way, lobster was not a delicacy in colonial America. I was reading this morning that lobster was so cheap and plentiful that it was often served to prisoners who complained the food wasn't fit for human consumption in colonial America. So the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of what is now the United States was so plentiful that they were just like, we don't like it. I mean,
I like lobster. I think I might choose crab over it. But the downside to both of those is it takes a lot of work.
It does take a lot of work without
and I'm not sure that I really want to work that hard to eat.
It's a vicious cycle. You're burning off as many calories. It's like eating celery. It takes as much work to eat it as it does you get the nutrition. Increasing clouds with isolated rain chances today. We'll see isolated to scattered showers possible today. Sunny, warm midweek. We're going to see humidity and temperatures rise toward the weekend, with shower and thunderstorm chances also increasing. We'll monitor the trends and kind of adjust to the forecast on what might happen. We'll see increasing clouds, high of 84 today, partly cloudy, 65 tonight, partly cloudy, high of 85, and still looking good for the kickoff to the high school football season on Friday evening. Saturday now looking like about a 4 in 10 chance of rain, so we will monitor that. But the greatest chance of rain over the weekend looks like it's going to come on Sunday, so talk more about that. There are a couple of states, at least a couple of states today, that are having primaries. Today may be the day that Sarah Palin finds her way back to Washington. It may also be the day that Liz Cheney gets sent away from Washington, representing the state of Wyoming. and it's likely she's going to lose her House seat in Wyoming because of breaking with the Trump machine. So she at least trailing in the polls to her challenger. They do it differently in Wyoming. They're just now having their primary. So some states, they don't have their primary until late summer, and then they turn around and have their general in early November. So anyway, we get to see some of the early linings up from, you probably not heard the last of Liz Cheney either way. Clearly she will serve out her term if Wyoming, if they vote for her challenger. But, I mean, she may be sizing up a national run at some point in time, which is puzzling to me, though. Obviously, she has the pedigree with the last name of Cheney, being Dick Cheney's daughter, and she probably has the financing. But if your own home state won't send you back to represent them in Congress, can you count on them to vote for you for president? And there aren't many presidents that have lost their home state and been victorious. So anyway, we'll see how that shapes up. The latest COVID report is out, and in Grayson County, there were 106 new cases of the virus reported to the Kentucky Department for Public Health. Last week, one new death was reported, and Grayson County's positivity rate is now back in the orange, kind of a spike in the numbers all of a sudden from one week to another week. I'll tell you, for me, I look at the numbers, and obviously I pass them along to you. But when we stopped getting an accurate depiction of all the positivity and all the tests, and now you've got a group of people that are testing, but I just think that it's such a weird dissection of the population. I don't think the numbers are even. I don't think there's a lot of numbers that you can put your faith in at the moment, other than absolute numbers. And absolute numbers in things like hospital census. There are 615 Kentuckians hospitalized. There are 74 in ICU. There are 27 on a ventilator. There were 76 new deaths in Kentucky last week that are being attributed, and there were about 14,409 cases. How that goes into positivity and population and all that, I think those numbers aren't reliable anymore, because the testing models have changed. Like, not all the same people are being tested, not all for the same reasons. You got some people that don't feel good, they stay home, they don't get tested, and it just makes things a little bit murky. If you are looking to help Eastern Kentucky flood relief, we are working alongside the Grayson County Sheriff's Office and the Old Dominion Freight Line for a relief effort that primarily will be held on Saturday, where we will be collecting goods here locally and loading up a tractor trailer that then will go to Old Dominion's hub in Bowling Green, be palletized and be prepared, and then taken over to Eastern Kentucky. I believe they're going to Hazard specifically is where they're going. But in advance of that, if you don't want to wait until Saturday for our collection point, you can donate the goods that are needed at the Grayson County Sheriff's Office on the square. So if you're going to be out of town for whatever reason on Saturday. But more importantly, if you want to make cash contributions, you can make your checks out to Behind the Badge, and up to $5,000, whatever is contributed, the Behind the Badge will match, and we'll give it to the effort. And that effort, again, will be between 9 and 2. It'll be in the Walmart parking lot on Saturday, and the Sheriff's Office, K105, Old Dominion Freight Line will be gathered there to take the materials that you want to send to Eastern Kentucky flood relief. So anyway, but if you don't want to wait, until the weekend, you can do that throughout this week at the Sheriff's Office. And New Hope Christian Center in Hazard, in Perry County, is where your items are going to be distributed. So anyway, we're happy to help out with that. We're just sort of the promotion arm. Mm-hmm. We're the Sheriff's Office and Old Dominion. They're kind of doing the actual heavy lifting on all that, but we're happy to play a role in it. Governor Beshear said yesterday that FEMA has taken several steps. FEMA's been on the governor's naughty list the last week, and they might be working their way off of the naughty list back onto the nice list. The governor says that FEMA is making some changes to help Kentuckians who suffered losses. One is they are calling everyone who has been denied aid so far.
It's a good first step.
You'll remember last week they were denying people, and then they weren't really telling them how to fix it, and they were asking for ridiculous things. I used it like a paperwork that got washed away. And you say, "Well, how come you don't have your paperwork?" Well, it got washed away. It's downstream somewhere. But the problem with calling everyone, if you're like me, you're unlikely to answer the phone if you don't recognize the number. So he said that they have tried to call 4,006 applicants, but they have only been able to talk to 1,508. So he was encouraging people of the region, answer your phone. He also said FEMA is starting a first-in-the-nation texting program today with a phone number so you can call and discuss the denial of your claim. And an even bigger step, he says, is the people in the disaster recovery centers now have the authority to approve claims. So people on the ground. Remember I told you last week, it was the people in the middle they were blaming it on. Like the upper echelons were like, hey, we need to do more. And the people on the ground were like, hey, we really need to do more. But where it was the middle ground, that where they're just passing the blame to someone else. But now they're saying people that are actually on the ground can make the decision, the practical decision to give people the help that they need. He being the governor, also says he expects that special session of the legislature to happen within the next 4 weeks, is what he's thinking. He said everybody is committed to it. They're having in-depth conversations about what the legislation looks like. And I do applaud that. Whoever gets the credit, I'm sure the governor gets some credit because he has to call the session. But you also want the legislature to be poised and ready to act quickly, because at what it costs to fund the legislature to be in session daily, contrasted against the state's economy, it's not a huge amount of money. But for them to just go up there and sit and then figure it out is wasteful. So they can be figuring it out by either committee or by phone and getting the edges smoothed out on it. So when they do get to Frankfort and they go into session and the meter starts running, they can act quickly. And that just seems to make sense to me, rather than just be wasting money, on things that,
to have a plan and go.
Yeah. Relief. If you've got money to burn, then deliver it to Perry County. And just let those people have it. Experts who are visiting the disaster centers in Kentucky, I thought this was interesting, can help people whose heirlooms and keepsakes were damaged in recent flooding. So even in our case, like every time this young lady over here goes and visits her grandmother, for instance, she comes home with something, right? That is like, here, you need this more than I need this. And it's some type of family heirloom.
Yes.
Well, when you have a disaster in your home, fire, flood, whatever, a lot of people, first thing they go running for, photograph albums. More of ours are stored in the cloud now, but you still have the hard copies of the old photographs. So you're grabbing as many things as you can. Clothing can be replaced. Well, what happens when your heirlooms are, one, either washed away, partially washed away, covered in mud? And so the Heritage Emergency National Task Force experts may be able to help save photos, artwork, quilts, important documents, and other items. The experts are visiting Clay County Community Center this week, and they're there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They'll be at the Knott County Sportsplex next week, and then they're going to be in Hazard next Wednesday through next Sunday. FEMA said the experts will discuss how to handle, dry, and clean the items and can provide information about safety during the restoration process. So, we've been spending a lot of time in the last week with these things. This information is not germane to me. Like in my life, I don't need these restoration experts of heirlooms in my life today. But I might in the future, and just knowing, there are people who do that, who can guide you through, I find it to be very educational. We have kind of a front row seat to the disaster, the calamity of others, and it might help us at some point in time in the future. Attorney General Daniel Cameron filed a motion yesterday asking a federal district court to overturn its previous ruling and permanently dismiss a challenge to Kentucky's live dismemberment law, which is House Bill 454. The motion was filed following a ruling by the U.S. State Court of Appeal for the Sixth Circuit, which directed the district court to reconsider its prior ruling in light of the U.S. Supreme Court's decision in Dobbs versus Jackson Women's Health Organization. Okay. It's a confusing issue becomes even more confusing because of rulings back and forth and here or there. It was only a matter of time, but beginning next March, visitors to the Great Smoky Mountains National Park will need to purchase a parking pass to use the facilities. Great Smoky Mountain National Park has long been overloved. It's overused and overloved. And part of the reasons that it has been overloved, it has been so accessible because there aren't a lot of fees involved. And so to try and provide the maintenance necessary to try and preserve the park and to also use as some level of deterrent, there will be some people that say they'll make different decisions because of the process of getting parking permits, that they will try and slow down the rate that the park is being used. The park superintendent, whose name is Cassius Cash.
There you go.
Cassius Cash is the park superintendent and said in an interview, the fee is needed to keep up with the maintenance and staffing demands at the country's most visited national park. The Smokies have seen a 57% increase in visitors over the past decade, with a record 14.1 million visitors in 2021.
I can't imagine it'll be that much, though, will it? The cost?
The cost will not be that much, but the fact that you have to get one,
Yeah.
that's you go to
Is
some
it
of these more
annoyance?
popular
Can you do it
trailheads
online?
now. Yes. And I'll tell you, I mean, we had to do the same thing. I was the beneficiary, but even to go to the Arch, my dad had to make a reservation for us to go. We had to get tram passes for that. Last summer, we were trying to go to Haleakala for the sunrise and couldn't get in the lottery to get a parking ticket to be able to go to Haleakala National Park early morning. And so most of the national parks, certainly the popular ones, have had to resort to controlling traffic ingress and egress. Parking fees will be $5 a day or $15 for 7 days. But they're just trying to keep you be able to drive through the park still with no problem. You can enjoy the scenery. It's the trailhead parking lots where you're going to be there for a long period of time. If you're going to be there for a few minutes, that's not an issue, but they're just trying to find something to slow down the rate in which people are descending. I mean, 14.1 million people in one calendar year is a lot. At least seems to me. All right, what else must you know about the UK men? There's no women's football team. The UK football team is in the Associated Press preseason top 25 for the first time in Christy Buckles' lifetime.
Oh.
It's 76, right?
Yeah, for the first time in 44 years, 78.
78, okay.
Since 1978, the Cats are ranked in the Associated Press preseason top 25. They are ranked 20th, one of 6 SEC teams. They are just behind Arkansas.
And right ahead of Tennessee, right?
Right ahead of Ole Miss. Tennessee is not in the Associated Press top 25. It's Alabama, Georgia, Texas A&M, all in the top 10. And then you've got Arkansas at 19, Kentucky at 20, Ole Miss at 21. Cincinnati is at 23. BYU rounds out the top 25. No Tennessee Volunteers in the AP top 25. So there you go. The Cats have done very well playing with we don't get the respect we deserve. We're the underdog, but now being ranked preseason, I hope they can...
some respect has been put on their name.
Yeah, well, I hope they can deal with the success of having higher expectations going into a season, but we'll find out in a few weeks. In particular, when they go down to Gainesville in week 2. Got to get to a break. We'll come back. Got more on the way. Where's Quacky? Day 7 is coming up next here on In the Know.
Successful small business owners know that having an ally in decoding the data of your business performance is vital. A trusted source that can interpret financial reports, advise on tax code, and assess overall performance can be the difference between sleepless nights and peace of mind. The certified public accounting firm of Buckles, Travis & Hart is your ally in making sure your business is performing at an optimum level. Call or contact today to find out how Buckles, Travis & Hart can help fine-tune your business to create peak performance. 270-259-5604. GraysonCPAs.com.
The summer season means the best of the best produce from the finest producers is available at Grayson County Farmers Market, Wednesdays and Saturdays from 7 to sellout, in their new location on Quarry Road in Litchfield. This great new location is convenient and easy to find from US 62. In addition to produce, you'll find lots of Kentucky Proud items. Senior and WIC vouchers are accepted at the Grayson County Farmers Market, Wednesdays and Saturdays from 7 to sellout, in their new location on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
Core-Mark is now hiring. If you are in search of a goal-oriented career, look no further. Core-Mark is here. We are ready to support you and your career goals. Core-Mark now offers competitive starting rates with incentive that allows you to earn up to $20 an hour in your first 90 days. You'll discover a culture that encourages you to grow, challenges to achieve, and embraces you as family. Show us your power and earn the money you deserve. Core-Mark now offers starting rates with incentive that allows you to earn up to $20 an hour in your first 90 days. Apply online at careers.coremark.com.
Most people think water pollution is an industrial problem, but it's also a household problem. When you allow hazardous chemicals, paint, or even pet waste to wash down the storm drain, it goes directly into our water. That makes a huge mess today, and an even bigger mess for our kids to clean up tomorrow. It's time we all did our part to protect Kentucky's water. To find out how you can help, visit stormwater.ky.gov. Brought to you by the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet.
Living on the lake is a luxury. Lake homeowners have been supplementing their properties with the best quality rock, stone, and asphalt products from Scotty's Contracting and Stone for years. Scotty's Quarry has been serving our lake customers with cleaner, underground mined, pure limestone for driveways, landscaping, and construction projects. Our crushed stone products can also be used to assist in erosion control near waterways. If you live on the lake, contact Scotty's Contracting and Stone for an estimate on high-quality products and service at 270-259-5696.
If you don't like where life is heading, Everlasting Arms Family Counseling Center can help you change direction. If you made a wrong turn somewhere along the way, Everlasting Arms is accepting new patients and referrals for all behavioral services in Grayson, Hardin, and Breckinridge County. Serving anyone from age 4 to 104, we handle court and community-based counseling services. Join us August 19th for our grand opening in Hardinsburg for food and fun from 11 to 4. That's at 138 Courthouse Square. Let Everlasting Arms Family Counseling Center get you on the right track now at 270-234-6139.
Tech billionaire Elon Musk is outlining his technological vision for his companies Tesla, Neuralink, and SpaceX in an essay. Musk wrote in China Cyberspace that his greatest hope is that humans create a self-sustaining city on Mars and become an interplanetary species. A Minnesota microchip maker is planning an expansion following the passage of the CHIPS and Science Act. Polar Semiconductor's CEO says the legislation could help them increase its output quickly without having to break new ground. HBO Max is laying off 70 of its staffers as Warner Brothers Discovery shuts down the streamer's reality unit. This comes as it was announced that HBO Max and Discovery Plus would be combining as one streaming service next year. That's your tech report. Trey Thomas, NBC News.
You say you're sorry once again. You want me to take you back once more.
Today is Tell a Joke Day. It's important. You got to know how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize for a long time. I've been blessed with the ability to tell a joke that I just thought people opted not to. Like, oh, they're just not funny.
Why?
But a lot of people can't.
Why does the Norwegian Navy have barcodes on the sides of their ships?
I don't know, Sam.
So when they come back to port, they can Scandinavian.
Oh, they can Scandinavian.
Oh, my goodness.
All right. Okay. All right. That's fine.
You don't have any dad jokes in your pocket today?
Oh, I've always got dad jokes, but I didn't really want to resort to dad jokes.
Okay.
Because the joke is there are some rules, by the way, to joke telling, and I'll just tell you when we previewed the month, I said both my grandfathers were excellent joke tellers, and so I just kind of cabbaged on to the way that they were able to do it. Know your joke before you open your mouth, right? Don't start into it and then try to find your joke on the way. You got to have a clear idea of where you're headed, even if you're ad-libbing a little bit. Know your audience. Not all jokes are suitable for all audiences. Don't ask for permission to tell a joke. Don't walk up and say you want to hear a joke, because then it's over. If you ask someone if they want to hear a joke, then they're like, okay, well, I'm waiting to be humored.
That's you got to. Yeah, you have a lot more pressure that way.
That's right, and just go right in. Don't tell everybody how funny your joke is beforehand. Oh, this joke is so good, you got to hear it. Don't do that. You're setting expectations. You're moving the meter. There's got to be an ample setup. You got to have the proper details. There's got to be a punchline or a strong conclusion. Avoid detours. Jokes work best in a straight line, and then commit to your joke. Once you start it, you have to see it through to the end, just like Sam just did.
And it was a great joke.
It might be better. So if you're of my generation, all I have to do is say to you, and he kicked him in the ding ding.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
If you're a 50-something-year-old male, you know where the punchline to that joke comes from.
Where does it come from?
Eddie Murphy's Raw. It was talking about little Eddie's got jokes to tell. And it showed Eddie Murphy when he was little entertaining his family. And he didn't even tell the setup to the joke. All little Eddie would say was, and he kicked him in the ding ding. And so his family would just roar laughing. So today is also Roller Coaster Day. Roller coaster.
Well, I guess somebody could be celebrating Roller Coaster Day with us later, right? I mean, by winning.
They could. Yeah, they could. They could win some coaster rides. It is also Bratwurst Day today, so celebrate accordingly. Have you seen the video of the kid at the ball game?
I'm working on getting it right now.
So
if you give me
can you
do Quacky first and come back and then I'll have the video?
Yeah, probably. I can do that. I mean, sure. Now
because the video. Sorry, I know I'm screwing you up.
Now all my jokes are ruined because I was working in a straight line. But no, just have it your way.
Well, the video will make it better, right?
That's right. I kind of thought.
Yeah, the video, it didn't go through, and now this is not wanting to work.
Today is day number 7 of Where's Quacky, and before we get to day number 7, we better clean up from day 6. Day 6, Quacky spent the day at the Clarkson VFW Memorial. I peeked at the comments to see how many varying comments there were, because it's a specific place. You know, you can say, well, Veterans Memorial, or you can say War Memorial, or you can say Clarkson Memorial, but it's the Clarkson VFW Memorial, and it's new. So you've had to have been there through there in the last couple of years to recognize and know. But Emily Thompson knew that it was the Clarkson VFW Memorial, and she now has her own duck in the Ducking Hunger Regatta, and she has her very own K105 T-shirt. So Emily might have just won $1,000. So congratulations to her. Now, day number 7 of the Where's Quacky. Quacky is spending the day somewhere in the Twin Lakes today. And over on our Facebook page, you will see this photograph. And in the comments section of this photograph, you will need to update. You will need to offer a comment and tell us where Quacky is spending the day. And so this time tomorrow, we may be announcing you as the daily winner. I recognize a couple of names there. Quacky. All right. Don't do it in the show thread. Do it over on our Facebook page.
It's a nice painting in the background. Is it a painting?
I think that's a quilt.
Oh. So are they in Paducah? Did he make the trip to the Quilt Museum?
I don't think so. I don't. I think.
Can he waddle that far?
No, I think he's okay. So, by the way, I haven't talked with Colonel Childress in the last couple of days, but make sure all the ducks get sponsored in the Ducking Hunger Regatta, which will be coming up September 4th. So day number 7 of Where's Quacky? You Tell Us. So
I did want to say it is September 5th.
September 5th.
Is the Ducking Hunger Regatta.
I was
So
looking
wanted
at
to make sure.
I was looking at the
thing
the thing there that's in the photo that said the 4th.
Colonel
So
Childress
I'm
wanted to make sure
confused.
that I said that because I just to make sure that it was.
It's all blending together to me, that whole Labor Day weekend, but it'll wrap up the Labor Day weekend. So, did we find the video of the kid?
Yeah, I'm getting it here. Okay.
Okay, I think we're about to have to move on.
Yeah,
so
yeah, I got it. So, my machine doesn't want to work today. Okay. Maybe. Here it goes. Now it's, of course, acting slow because I've got it. It's sitting right here, and now it doesn't want to connect. Okay, I guess it's not going to happen.
All right, let's move on. Here's this week's By the Numbers. This week's By the Numbers, 16% of adults say they only eat ice cream when it's hot outside. Well, you're doing it wrong. You can eat ice cream all the time. 3% say they haven't used a pen or a pencil in the last year.
How many?
3% of people say they haven't used a pen or a pencil in the last year. I guess that's about right. I just can't imagine going... I mean, I don't use one nearly as much as I used to, but I probably have one in my hand at least every day. I mean, even on the weekends, I probably got one in my hand. I'm probably less likely to use one on a Saturday.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know that I've ever had a work day where I don't use one, though.
Right. 31% carry an extra pair of pants in their car.
And you never know.
Oh, yeah.
Was it Tuesday of last week when you had your escapade when you were out, when you ended up working retail in Litchfield?
Was that
Was it Tuesday or Wednesday? I don't know.
I don't remember.
I do have an extra pair of pants in my car right now, but I didn't put them in there as an extra pair. They're still in there from when I was out and changed clothes last week. 70% of adults say they can't sleep when there's a spider in the room. I think there's always a
70%?
spider in the room. You just don't know it. Yeah, it
There's
says
always
70%. 75% of women wish their partner held their hand more.
How many?
75. 3 out of 4. 23% of women say they would actually pay their partner to give them a foot massage. 30% of men say 30% of men say they have borrowed a razor from their significant other. 50% of men say they couldn't tell you their partner's shoe size. So I know her shoe size, but do you know my shoe size?
I think so.
All right, what do you think it is?
11.
Yeah, all right. 20% of us say we would 10.5 or 11. 20% of us say we would fail a written driving test if we were asked to do it today.
Yep.
What percentage?
20.
Yep.
That's
I mean,
probably
So 1 out
probably
of
higher.
5
I think it's higher than
would
that.
fail the written. It becomes one of those things where you to take a test, you have to prepare for test taking. You might be able to demonstrate a successful test, but you might not be able to write down the answer.
Probably a higher percentage that fail the actual driving test.
I'm sure that's
yeah.
that's the case, but I think I would have a little,
Especially when you
little better
let's see a
chance.
parallel park.
Absolutely. This is you may see this online. It's talking about in Australia, there is a lady named Jenny and a guy named Steve, and apparently a scorned girlfriend took out a full-page newspaper ad in a town paper in Australia, and the newspaper ad says, "Dear Steve, I hope you're happy with her. Now the whole town will know what a filthy cheater you are. From Jenny. P.S. I bought this ad using your credit card."
I
Right?
would love to know the editorial staff at the newspaper talking about, do we do this? Do we take their money?
Sure. Well, I mean, it's an interesting query in that regard. It's got the whole town talking because everyone
Wants to know
who
who
knows
Steve
a
is.
Jenny and or a Steve then is thinking, is it them or do I know who they are, et cetera, et cetera. So to the point where like some of at least one restaurant in town put up a sign that says, "Dear Jenny, I'm sorry," from all the Steves. Like on behalf of all the Steves, they're apologizing to Jenny. But so The newspaper editor, though, says they will not be revealing who Jenny is.
Nor should they.
But they go on to say, so this is $1,000 ad. So the newspaper in this town costs $1,000. And the bottom says, P.S. I bought this using your credit card. But the newspaper editor says, we have not charged the credit card in question. The newspaper sales manager said that it held off charging the credit card provided because it could technically have been card fraud. Well, that has some people calling crap that it's PR stunt because all newspapers need $1,000.
Yeah.
So if they had a paying customer to come in here and give them $1,000,
There aren't many. I mean, listen, the media, we love our. You want to come advertise? Come on. We'll take your money.
so that's my listen. There are plenty. There have been those you just hold your nose. You go, I really want to do this.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, listen, if somebody walked in here right now with a $1,000 check,
This newspaper, if this were a bona fide legitimate transaction, they are all of a sudden haven't found their virtue and said, well, but what they did say was, we encourage Steve to stop in and give us the authorization to pay for his mess. That's what they said. I'm like, okay.
Now, would it have been better if it was Forrest instead of Steve with Jenny?
No, we can't have that. And then if you're doing your Christmas shopping early, I point your attention to the Pennsylvania-based toy company called Namespace. They have unveiled plans to produce 3.25-inch tongue-in-cheek action figures of Karen. Action figures that actually, she's got the bob and everything. The problematic Karens of the world now have their own action figure.
So are you supposed to buy these for the Karens?
Supposed to buy these. Well, I mean, if you have action figure collection, your action figure collection can't be incomplete.
Dennis Cook, I think, has a pretty decent action figure collection.
Definitely needs to have a Karen. And what's even more, they are also making Joe the manager. When Karen comes in and says, I need to speak to the manager, they've actually got Joe the manager action figure too.
Can they call him? Because when I think of Joe action figure, I think of
G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
Well, if you'll notice, the font looks a little G.I. Joe.
It does look a little.
But anyway, for the Karens in your lives, you can get them their own action figure for Christmas this year. Got to get to a break. We'll have the water cooler question, your chance to win, coming up here on In the Know.
Now hiring drummers. Now hiring gamers. Now hiring DJs. We're McDonald's, and we're hiring people with a passion or special sauce for what they love. Our benefits include flexible hours, paid time off, tuition assistance, free employee meals, and more. At McDonald's, the crew is the special sauce. Join us. Apply now at careers.mcdonalds.com. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Thinking about furthering your education? At Elizabethtown Community and Technical College, you'll get a high-quality education close to home at a cost that won't break the bank. Enjoy small class sizes with professors who take a personal interest in your success. Scholarships are still available, making our low tuition even more affordable. ECTC's Litchfield campus is now enrolling for classes that start October 17th. Call 270-259-1540 or visit elizabethtown.kctcs.edu to get started. ECTC, college for the real world.
Your choice of lifestyle directly affects your health. And while there are many complex factors surrounding your lifestyle, sometimes the simple truth is that you just need to feel better. Well, rest assured, your feel better starts right here at Midway Pharmacy. We take our time to get to know you and your lifestyle so we can provide sound advice on ways to improve your overall health. So whether your goal is to maintain a healthy lifestyle or overcome that untimely sickness, remember, your feel better starts here at Midway Pharmacy.
Floodwaters in eastern Kentucky have destroyed homes and businesses, displaced families, devastated communities, and claimed the lives of our fellow Kentuckians. Radio and television stations across the Commonwealth have united as one voice to help our fellow Kentuckians in need. Please consider supporting the Team Eastern Kentucky Flood Relief Fund today. Simply go to kba.org and click the Donate Now button. This message of hope is provided by the Kentucky Broadcasters Association and this station.
There are moments when doors of opportunity open. Moments when barriers are broken. Moments when you're called to provide hope for someone in need. Moments when you harness something deep inside. Moments when you're drawn to a cause greater than yourself. Moments when champions are born. At the University of Kentucky, this is who we are. This is what we do.
The following message is for the purpose of protecting property and saving lives. These 3 words may be the most important you hear today. Know what's below. Underground utilities are prevalent throughout your community. To know what's below, visit Kentucky811.org 2 to 3 days before starting any digging project. The underground utility lines will be identified and marked. This is a free service. Know what's below. Visit Kentucky811.org.
Hi, I'm Trooper Derek Holmes with Kentucky State Police. When working traffic across Kentucky, responding to crashes involving injuries or death is a tough part of our job. When you're driving Kentucky roads, there is so much out of your control. But what we do have control over is wearing a seatbelt. Less than 2 seconds. That's all the time it takes to buckle up. Why do we enforce seatbelt laws? It's not about writing tickets. It's about saving lives. Less than 2 seconds. That's all it takes. Please always buckle up.
A message from the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety.
K105 Weather is brought to you by Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
Twin Lakes weather. We have noticed some increasing clouds throughout much of the morning part of the day. We'll see those stick around for the afternoon. There could be an isolated shower that may try to form in some of these, but most areas will stay dry with highs into the 80s. We'll see a little bit of patchy fog tonight, back in the 80s tomorrow again. Slight chance of a shower. Better chance for full sunshine, though, on Thursday for the Wave Storm Tracking Team. I'm Brian Good.
The K105 105 Days of Summer.
Summer.
Brought to you by Future Designs on the Twin Lakes Best Mix. K105.
Did you know the first ever movie with outtakes in the credits was Smokey and the Bandit, 1977? And
you don't like that movie at all.
Oh, what a great movie of outtakes, too.
I got a little worried there for a second.
First,
I felt like you did like it.
First ever movie with outtakes in the credits, Smokey and the Bandit. Horrible Bosses is also really good. I mean, there are a lot that are good. When you see it now, that's some of the best is watching that outtakes. But Smokey and the Bandit was the first to do it, and Horrible Bosses is also one that stands out as one that...
What's the sheriff's name? Buford?
Buford T. Justice. Of Texas. Hello. Here's today's water cooler question. Your chance to win if you're not won in the last 30 days. You're 18 years of age or older. You qualify to win. If you will text your answer to 270-259-6000, 270-259-6000. Give you your choice of tickets to see the Lumineers, also the amusement park tickets. You can choose between Kentucky Kingdom, Holiday World, Beach Bend. And the show is tonight, but we can send you the tickets electronically if you want to go see Motley Crue, Poison, Def Leppard, and Joan Jett tonight in Indianapolis. We can make that happen if you want to choose that prize. So here's the question for today. Parents say no about 24 times a day. What do they say no to most? Parents say no about 24 times a day. What do they say no to most? 270-259-6000. Text your answer.
Is this accurate for you and Alea?
Opportunity to win. No.
What about Taylor?
No.
No.
No, I don't.
What about with me and the children?
No, I don't. No, I don't think so.
I'm trying to think of the questions Alea might ask me.
I was trying to think. Oh.
Or is it just that we don't say no?
Well, no.
I mean,
it. Okay. Not. Hard to say. It's hard for me to give too much of a definitive answer.
Because you don't want to give it away.
We might be. Yeah. I mean, it might.
I feel like I have a good guess.
Although it might be masquerading as. I don't know.
okay. Well, know.
I don't even know if we're getting a bunch of responses. Oh yeah, we're getting a bunch of responses.
I don't know. I feel. What do you think?
We'll get back to that in a minute.
That's on the top of. That's one of the first things that.
Well, now you have me
specific.
rethinking
I feel
about
like
her.
if it's too obvious.
Now I'm kind of rethinking about her because
I say no more than he says no.
Yeah, but there's a reason that
Did I get this more often?
I wouldn't be given as much an opportunity to say no to this. Is why I was so.
Okay.
Snoop Dogg is now one of only. Before I say this, when I saw you Friday afternoon, honey, you were listening. You said I was listening to a new song.
And yeah.
And was
new
it a
to me.
Snoop? Is it a Snoop song?
Yes.
Okay, so is it
Well,
called?
it's somebody with Snoop, of course.
Well, sure, but is it Bad Decisions?
I don't know.
Is that the name of the song? You
Do
don't
not
know?
know.
Okay. Well, that might be something that would be important to the story. Snoop Dogg is now one of only 3 artists with a top 10 hit in each of the past 4 decades. So, Snoop Dogg, 3 artists, top 10 hit each of the past 4 decades, thanks to his new collaboration with Benny Blanco, BTS, called Bad Decisions. The other 2 artists, Jay-Z and Mariah Carey, to have 3.
I'll look it up.
To have the top 10 hits.
In 3 decades?
4.
4. I guess, yeah, that makes sense.
Yes, is the 20s, 10s, 0s, and 90s.
Uh-huh.
Also, right on cue, Snoop has gotten into the breakfast cereal game with Snoop Loops.
What?
Snoop Loops breakfast cereal.
Is this the only way that would get you to eat a really sugary cereal?
available. No, she likes sugary cereal.
Yo, you like sugary cereal?
I don't like sugary
I'll
cereal.
eat 'em, yeah.
She likes sugary cereal. Just so long as it's soggy.
Yeah, I like it soggy.
She
Well, but-
wants it to be as soggy as possible.
So I don't see him
it looks
anywhere.
It looks like it's Fruit Loops, right?
Yeah, he's not on it, but it's called Snoop Loops with more marshmallows.
Okay.
So delicious multi-grain cereal, and hey, it's gluten free.
And it's multi-grain. That means it's healthy, right?
It's all good. Gluten free and multi-grain. We got to get to our break. We'll come back. We'll tell you who won the water cooler question, and we'll have chart toppers, point to ponder, and more coming up here on In the Know.
Ladies, how do you know when your marriage is romantic enough? Does your husband have to chase you to your gate at the airport? Does he have to throw rocks at your bedroom window and serenade you? How about a long kiss on the beach while waves tumble over you? Guys, what about you? Do you imagine yourself as the hero, a valiant knight who sweeps your wife off her feet and carries her, literally and figuratively, into the future? Romance can be a positive force in a couple's relationship. Sharing beautiful moments together creates lasting memories and deepens emotional bonds with feelings of intimacy and love. But romance is too weak to sustain a relationship because romance fades. At some point, after every fairy tale wedding, passion gives way to the daily grind of life. That's why true romance isn't a one-time flash of passion. It's a slow burn, a day-by-day journey through the ups and downs of life. My advice to married couples is to pursue romance every chance you get. Take a walk at sunset on the beach, eat dinner by candlelight, or kiss in the rain. Enjoy beautiful moments together that lift your relationship. But also, give thought to how you'll build intimacy in between those romantic moments as well. Instead of your wedding day or honeymoon becoming the moment where your romance ended, see it as the moment where true romance was just beginning. To help your marriage thrive, visit FocusOnTheFamily.com. I'm Jim Daly.
You know, it's true. Difficult times have a way of focusing us. We have to think about what matters most when it comes to our spending, our health care. No doubt. This is why so many people are joining Medishare right now. Medishare is a trusted way to save up to 50% on your monthly healthcare costs. More than 400,000 people have already made the switch. It's pretty obvious why, too, especially now during this challenging season with healthcare costs and out-of-pocket expenses going up. Medishare can save you a lot of money. The typical family saves $500 a month. And Medishare is a Christian healthcare sharing ministry that's worked beautifully for 29 years. There are different options to choose from to fit your budget. I'll give you the number here in a second. And if you call, you can get a price within 2 minutes. Maybe now is the perfect time to make the switch and start saving. Here you go. Call 877-64-BIBLE. That's 877-64-BIBLE. 877-64-BIBLE. Bible.
On the basketball court, you have to know where the lines are. It's just as important to know where the lines are in your own yard. Kentucky law generally requires you to have underground utility lines located before most excavation work, even if it's on your own property. If you don't call 811 and you damage a natural gas line, the Kentucky Public Service Commission will investigate you and you may be fined up to $1,250. Much better to stay within the bounds of the law and call before you dig to start putting in that backboard or goalpost. For more information, visit psc.ky.gov. This message brought to you by the Kentucky Public Service Commission.
Here's a simple truth about higher education.
If pursuing your purpose, doing what you really care about matters.
If having a rewarding career matters.
If a better financial future for you and your family matters.
Then higher education matters. From 6-week certificates to 2 or 4-year degrees, there's an option for you. A brighter future is within your reach. Find out how at kyhigheredmatters.org. Brought to you by this station and the Kentucky Broadcasters Association.
Hey, this is Zach. Join me Friday from noon to 2 for the grand opening of the Hardinsburg location of Everlasting Arms Family Counseling Center. We'll have food and fun here on the Twin Lakes Best Mix, K105.
Ow! Oh! Woo! Spread that! I'm back! I'm back!
MB's Point to Ponder for today. What's something that it's impossible to look cool while doing?
Going through a spider web.
Yeah, that would be. I think grocery shopping. Like, I don't think you can look cool like pushing your cart and then stopping and then like hunkering down and getting. I don't think you can look cool.
That's why you wear earbuds.
Grocery shopping.
You wear earbuds and you kind of dance and shimmy as you go along.
Are you sure you look cool doing that?
Of course I do.
Okay, I was just checking.
I don't do it anymore, but that's how I used to do it.
When you're eating an ice cream cone, it starts to melt, and it's getting
And
all
you have
over
to,
you.
like, hurry and do the-
And then you're doing like the whole like
Turn your neck sideways deal, and that can be weird. Yeah. Picking up a nickel. I don't think anybody looks good picking up a nickel.
Couldn't tell you the last time I actually did that. If I see change, it's too far down.
I adjusted for inflation. I could have said penny, but I said
Well, I can guarantee you, I'm not picking up a penny.
1852. It could be a wheat penny. It could be a valuable penny. How do you know?
I'll throw my back out doing
if you don't pick it up, you won't have all day long good luck. 1852 knew the answer was stay up late. Stay up late is the question, is what parents say no to most. But the further I got to thinking about it, because you asked as it pertains to Alea. Here's how Alea asks to stay up late. Can I have another popsicle? Or can I watch a movie instead of a show?
Ooh, she's smart.
She knows. She knows how to. But the television
That's
content.
where they get you, right?
The television content is more of a mama question.
Yes.
I get the popsicle question, right? Can I have another popsicle? Can I have it? And so she's just buying more time.
I do enjoy that. Usually, when the show's over and she's here, you walk out. That's usually the first thing she asks you.
Oh, sure. She knows I'm the Popsicle Express. I mean, there's
She gets the yellow
So
ones.
there are dad things and there are mom things, and so the nighttime TV content or movie or whatever is a mom decision, and it usually has to do with did we read books? Are we going to read books? Then do we watch something longer? Do we watch a short TV show? So that's all a negotiation about how to stay up late. So are we saying no to that, or are we just deal making?
We modify according to time is what we do. So yes, it's negotiation, it's deal making. And sometimes there is a straight out no.
That's true.
If it's a ridiculous one, but we compromise for the most part.
That's good. It's good compromise.
I just appreciate that she's and that's her when she's 6. So imagine when she's when she's 12 or something.
She can drive a hard bargain. That's good. America's Got Talent on NBC tonight. The premiere of Leonardo on the CW and on BET Celebrity Family Feud.
Is that
That can't be on BET. That's got to be on ABC. That's got to be a typo because it's Kathy Lee Gifford versus Ricky Lake. They're not putting Kathy Lee Gifford versus Ricky Lake on BET. I'm sorry.
That would be so strange.
Unless they were just putting them on there to make fun of them.
Leonardo about Da Vinci?
Leonardo DiCaprio, I think.
Oh, or is it about the Ninja
No, it's
Turtle?
about Da Vinci.
Or the Ninja Turtle?
It's about Da Vinci. No, not the Ninja Turtles. Today's highlight in history, 45 years ago today, Elvis died.
I left my Fitbit at home.
I was looking, he's like, you were like, all of a sudden I looked at your wrist and it's not there. Today, 45 years ago today, Elvis died at Graceland in Memphis. In 1948, Babe Ruth died at age 53. And Aretha Franklin died this day in 2018. So,
I mean, you'd be hard pressed to find a 1, 2, 3.
Well, in another tragedy, the Beatles fired Pete Best this date in 1962, but hired Ringo Starr.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Babe Ruth, Aretha Franklin, and Elvis Presley all died on August 16th.
I mean, arguably, two of the most well-known musicians and maybe the most well-known baseball player of all time.
Birthdays today, Leslie Ann Warren is 76, Kathy Lee Gifford is 69, James Cameron is 68, Timothy Hutton is 62, Steve Carell is 60, San Diego Padres pitcher Yu Darvish is 36 today, Rumor Willis is 34 today.
And Alex Cook.
I did see Alex Cook is
17
today. Sweet 17.
So I know he celebrated over the weekend. Got to have his parents take him out to lunch.
See, you're climbing the ladder on employee age. See, when I started here, I was the youngest at one point.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think at that
I'm an
time
old
you
man.
were.
It happens. You will climb this. Yeah.
Gone but not forgotten. Menachem Begin, 6th Prime Minister of Israel, was born in 1913. Fess Parker in 1924. Edie Gourmet in 1928. Frank Gifford in 1930. I always remembered that Kathy Lee and Frank shared a birthday. Not in the same year, certainly. Let's go to chart toppers. 1955 was the year. Mitch Miller was the artist, and Mitch Miller was singing The Yellow Rose of Texas, or like some people like to say, Tejas. Texas, Tejas.
This sounds like just the pure sounds of silence. There it is. Okay.
There's a yellow rose in Texas that I am gonna see. Nobody else could miss her, not half as much as me. She cried so when I left her, it like to broke my heart.
Is that where all your exes live, Sam, in Texas?
That's one way to put it.
I know how much you love George Strait in particular, so I just thought that was probably one of your favorite George
Well, I mean,
Strait
I listened
songs
to-
was All My Exes Live in Texas.
Listen to George Strait before some Alabama or something. But
I've seen George Strait in concert, actually.
Me too. I was in multiple times. 1964, The Four Seasons, #1, with Ragdoll.
Yeah, I think I prefer Aerosmith's Ragdoll.
Living in a movie.
they're a little different.
Daddy's little cutie.
Yeah, it's
So
on my
fine.
playlist, too.
Never see you leaving by the back door. Man.
Oh, this is a good song.
1973.
You used to say, live and let live.
Have you seen him in
You
concert?
know you did, you know you did, you know you did. I have not.
If this ever
I know my parents have seen him a couple of times, I think.
world in which we live in makes you give in and cry.
Bum, bum, bum.
Say, live and let die.
In my iTunes playlist, though, I do have the Paul McCartney live at Citi Field, but I can't see Paul McCartney until after I've seen Billy Joel. Billy Joel's the priority.
McCartney, he's getting up there. I don't know how much more touring he's going to be doing. I think that'd be a really... It's a little slow, but I think it'd be a cool pep band song. A marching band with a drum line.
It shifts into high gear. though. Abracadabra.
I wanna reach out and grab you.
I heat up, I can't cool down. All right, let's go to 1991. This summer, we've been trying to introduce the young Mrs. Alea to some of the late 80s, early 90s classics she must know. Like, we spent quite a bit of time on Bust a Move by Young MC one day. But then there are others like CNC Music Factory, Gonna Make You Sweat, Snap, The Power. We had that as a chart topper recently.
How did she rule on this?
Oh, she loves them. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
We have the videos to prove it. But this is one from that era. This is Rhythm Syndicate and PASSION. Certainly not a classic, but a number one. I'm going to park this over in the if we've learned all the other songs, then we can maybe learn this one.
You should see some of her moves.
I don't deny it.
Ice Ice Baby. So we had to stop, collaborate, and listen. We had to learn those.
It's good stuff.
And, Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. She's been encouraged recently to call me Marky Mark, but we'll stick with the normal. It's going to be me in sync in 2000, 22 years ago today. And I've been working. I have to play this one. In 09, Carrie Hilson, Kanye, and Neo with Knock You Down, number one, 13 years ago today.
That's crazy.
MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Without hard work, nothing grows but weeds. Without hard work, nothing grows but weeds. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Remember, God loves you, and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow for another edition of our show. For Sam Gormley, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
Powering through the Twin Lakes with the best mix of music, news, weather, and fun. If it's